the ability to say no. Now, there's an art to saying no. It's something that you can actually get better at. Let me give you a couple ideas here. If you're going to say no, just be really clear. I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. Don't give wiggle room for them to still keep it on your plate. Not, I don't think I can, I'm not sure if I can, but thank you for thinking of me, or sorry, I couldn't be more helpful. So you're polite, you can even be apologetic, but you're not opening up wiggle room for that no to turn into a, okay, but yes. So something that makes no's very effective is if the person on the other end knows that you're well organized. It helps to be clear about your calendar. Actually talk about the specific things that are filling your time when you're trying to prevent something new from being added to that schedule. That makes that no much more powerful than if you're just generically saying, I don't think I want to do this, or I think I'm busy. When you're interested in something that you can't say yes to right now because you already have too many things going on, you can come back and say, I can't do this right now, but if you're still interested in January, let's touch base on it then. So you can look at your calendar and say, when will be a reasonable time to revisit this, and give that clarity to the person on the other end. Now you're much more likely to have a chance of finding a time for this important thing when your workload makes it more reasonable. One idea that I found useful in my own life is the use of quotas. If there's a particular type of request that you get a lot, and it's something that you should do some of, but you get asked to do it more than you can say yes every time, set a quota of how many times you do this type of activity in a given month or quarter or whatever time scale makes sense. The advantage of a quota is that when you say no to something, you can explain why. You can say, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I do find this activity to be important, but I've already hit my quota for this month or for this quarter of how many of these I'm able to fit in. This is a really effective way to say no, because there's not a real good pushback to this beyond someone saying, well, I think your quota is wrong, or I think you should do more of these. It shows that you're being conscientious. It shows that you're organized. It shows that you're being very intentional about what you do and how much you do. Here's a script that can help you with this. I call it the if this, then what negotiation. Instead of a flat refusal, use a conditional yes to help protect your time. You can say, I'm happy to take this on, and then ask, which of these other current priorities should I move to the back burner to make room for it? Something else that's useful when it comes to no's is actually just eliminating entire categories of activities. So for example, if you're a writer and you've been giving a lot of speeches and maybe those are taking up a lot of time, it's probably easier to say, you know what, I'm not doing speeches this year, as opposed to saying, I'm going to say no more often to these speeches. Even if it's just for a temporary amount of time, that can simplify the thinking that goes in to assessing whether or not you do something. You might think reducing the number of things you're working on will require you to say no loudly and definitively in the face of your boss, but that's not necessarily true. If we go back and remember, why is it a problem to have too many things on your plate at the same time? It was the administrative overhead that caused all the harm. It was the emails and meetings and thoughts that are generated by active projects that caused the problem. If you've agreed to work on something, but you're not actively engaging with it yet, it doesn't generate any of that overhead. So now imagine that you keep two statuses for the things you've said yes to. Projects or tasks I'm actively working on, and projects and tasks I'm waiting to start working on. And the things you're waiting to start working on, you don't do emails about, you don't do meetings about. Well, now you can say yes to as many things as you need to, but as long as you keep the number of projects that you're actively working on small, you still get many of the benefits of doing fewer things.